This is recommended by the Ananda Marga organization. And I found it to be extremely beneficial in my life. There's three main reasons: physical health, mental discipline, and spiritual growth. You know, there's so many ways that we can build up toxins in our system, you know, from the food we eat or the water or the air that we breathe. And it's good to clean that out on a regular basis so it doesn't build up in our system and cause health problems. So that's one reason. And also, it's not so easy to fast. I mean, you have to have some willpower, some mental discipline to be able to do it. But that gives us more strength mentally to be able to get through a fast day. And thirdly, our spiritual growth is probably the main reason why yogis started fasting. The word for fasting in Sanskrit is upavasa, which means to be in proximity to God. So during fasting time, it's a really good time to do meditation and feel that connection with your spiritual self. There are 3 levels of fasting that I would recommend, depending on your experience. If you're a beginner, I would say that you could fast until dinner time and take liquids during the fast, like water or coconut water are good. If you have a little more experience, you can fast from sunrise to sunrise the next day. And that would be the second level, where you'd still take liquids. Again, water and coconut water. Actually, just water would be a better way to go. And then the third level would be to go from sunrise to sunrise the next day with no water, no liquids at all, which would be dry fasting. And in my experience, this has the greatest benefit because you eliminate more of the toxins in your system by doing it that way. Now, if you're fasting longer fast, like if you have some health condition where you need to do a longer fast, that's something that you'd want to get your advice from your healthcare professional. That's not something that we're going to be covering here today. So what is the best day to fast? In the yogic tradition, they call the day Ekadashi. And Ekadashi, actually in Sanskrit, translates to 11th. So they're referring to the 11th day after the new moon and the 11th day after the full moon. So according to yoga philosophy, that's the days when the moon has the strongest pull on the earth. You know, and we know the moon has an effect on the earth because we see it with the rising and falling of the tides in the ocean. But there's certain days when it has a stronger pull than others. And if you fast during that day, then it'll have a stronger effect on eliminating toxins in the body. But there's also other days to fast too, like the new moon and the full moon are good days to fast. But we find that if you fast during the Ekadashi, it has it's equal to fasting several days on other days besides Ekadashi. So it's really the best day to fast. Due to the pull of the moon, the gaseous and liquid factors in the body tend to rise up into the head and the chest area and can cause an uncomfortable feeling, like you may get a headache or congestion. But if you're fasting on that day, then that problem doesn't exist. So how long is it good to do a fast? According to Ananda Marga, it is from sunrise to sunrise the next day, and it's usually about 36 hours. This is really all you need if you fast on Ekadashi. And the important thing is to fast regularly. I mean, you can do like a 7-day or 2-week fast, but if you're only doing it once a year, then what's going on in the meantime? You know, you're still building up toxins and potentially having health problems. But if you fast regular on Ekadashi, it's easier than doing a longer fast, and it is just as beneficial in most cases. The Ekadashi days are twice a month because it's 11 days after the new moon, 11 days after the full moon. So it's twice a month. And if you can't do that much, once a month is good too. Well, you know, there's different types of fasting, but what we recommend is not drinking anything during the fast. That's the best, if you can get to that level. But if you have to drink something, then water or coconut water is acceptable. You know, there's some kinds of fasting where you can eat. You know, you can drink juice, you can eat fruits, vegetables. It's not really fasting. It's just eliminating some of the more heavy foods that you eat. It's good, but if you really want to get the benefit from fasting, then you don't eat or drink anything. So at the end of your fasting, what is best to drink and eat? So the best thing that we found is to drink lemon water with a little salt, because the lemon water neutralizes the acids in your stomach, and the salt helps to rehydrate your system. So after drinking, you might want to wait a couple minutes and then eat a banana, but eat it in chunks. You know, don't chew it up too much, because those chunks will absorb the remaining toxins in your system and carry it out. So we found that's really the best way to break the fast. So after you've broken the fast, then you can start eating normal. Maybe wait about 10 minutes and start your normal diet. But also you want to be very careful not to overeat, because you might be very hungry. But just go into it gradually. So what's the result of fasting? In my experience, I find that a lot of the toxins are eliminated and carried out of the body, which gives a lot of health benefits. And also, because you're not expending energy digesting the food, you're able to spend more time and energy in meditation, yoga, reading, you know, other activities where you have more energy. Once fasting becomes a part of your routine, it's my experience that you will feel lighter, more energy, more health, and enhance your spiritual progress, especially when combined with a vegetarian sattvic diet and daily meditation.